Can you introduce yourself and share a little about your background?
Hello, my name is Ivanna. I'm 22 years old. I'm originally from Ukraine and I studied tourism at university. And what about traveling? It has always been a big part of my life. And in 2024, I had the opportunity to visit the US through the program Work and Travel. And it was a fantastic experience. And later this year, after this program, I moved to Prague, Czech Republic, where I currently live and work. So in general, I spent here 4 months and I'm going to spend here more time. And it helped me become highly adaptable to new environments because I lived in other countries before.
What are some core values in Ukrainian culture?
So in general, Ukrainian culture is deeply rooted in family and resilience and family gatherings. Especially during holidays, we like to gather with families to spend more time because it's really important to us, to our culture. And in general, Ukrainians are also known for our strong sense of community and generosity. We're really open-minded people. We like to offer the food, to be always warmly welcomed, even if somebody visits us unexpectedly. But, it also depends on the people. But in general, our culture like this.
What tradition or customs are you most important to you?
So personally for me, the most meaningful traditions are Easter and Christmas. Because it's not only about religious, but also about bringing families together. We prepare our special meals for this Easter and Christmas holidays. We sing songs special for only these two holidays. We, for example, during our whole year, we don't sing these songs, but only for these two holidays we do. And we just enjoy our time together. And for me, that's all.
When you first moved abroad, how did you feel about the cultural differences?
My first impression of cultural difference, I would say that I didn't experience a culture shock. For example, like other people do, because I live in Ukraine, and Ukraine, it's a European country, so we are really open to everything. So in general, people do what they want, and different stereotypes, they left our country. So in general, people here are also very free, and that's why I didn't experience some culture shock. And also, I think the reason is that I tend to adapt quickly and focus on understanding new people, current culture. However, for example, in United States, one thing that impressed me really, for example, if to compare the Europe and United States, so there people really, they don't care about what others think. They wear what they want, and they are open and they are carefree people. And it was so refreshing to me. It was really interesting and a little bit only probably shock. Yes, but it was really nice to see some different.
Was there anything that shocked you when you first arrived? Have you ever felt misunderstood due to cultural differences?
As I mentioned before, I don't have most shocking cultural aspect, but about US, it's of course freedom and openness of people. They just do what they want. and it's a fact. And it's really cool because they don't have, I don't know, some model or some trend that they follow. They don't have it, they just do what they want. Also, during my travel, I don't recall a time when I was completely misunderstood due to cultural differences, or maybe I just didn't notice it because I'm the person that don't pay attention. I really don't care. Probably that's why. But in general, if something happened, I just try to understand everything, and that's all.
How did you deal with homesickness or being away from familiar traditions?
Also, I'm really lucky in the sense that I rarely feel homesick because I traveled quite enough and I staying and I lived a lot abroad. However, for those who do, I'd say that the best way to deal with it is just staying active and involved in their life. Whether just, I don't know, just miss the home and thinking about it all the time. So try to explore something new for you or communicate with new people. Try to know the traditions or anything. I think that it's a good idea for you to feel more like at home because you learn new and you try to use to it.
What advice would you give to someone moving to a new culture for first time?
What about advice for moving to a new culture? I think the most important thing is to learn and understand the local culture, how people behave, their values and their general attitudes. This makes everyday interactions smoother and helps avoid unnecessary misunderstanding. Also, I think you have to have an open mindset and to be patient with yourself. I think that's it.
What challenges did you face in communication, especially in terms of language or social norms?
What I found as a challenge, the biggest challenge in communication is often just language barriers because some people they don't know English, but nowadays everybody tried to learn it, especially in the big cities. And when I moved to Prague, it's really helped me, but still I had to start learning Czech, which was not really easy. Of course, they have some similarities if you compare the Ukrainian language because we have some similar words, but not all the language. It's really complicated, I would say. And also social norms can also be different.
What helped you adapt to a new cultural environment?
Here I would say that my ability to adapt quickly was the key that always helped me a lot. And I also think that having a positive attitude and being open to learning makes the transition much more easier. And also try to speak to locals and trying to speak their languages, even if it's not really imperfectly. But still it helps to build connections and they see that I'm engaged and they really appreciate it.
Were there any stereotypes about Ukrainians that you encountered? How did you respond to them?
So honestly, abroad I found really a lot of stereotypes about Ukrainians, especially during the war, because a lot of Ukrainians moved abroad. And in general, people are different. I think in each country we have bad and good people, and the thing is when bad people do bad things, native people, they think that, oh, okay, everybody are just like this. That's why I faced this challenge when I was hunting for my job. So some companies rejected my resume simply because I was Ukrainian. My nationality was Ukrainian. They even didn't look at my resume, they just rejected it. So, and I had 26 rejected of my resume. And unfortunately, the actions of few individuals can create negative stereotypes about nationality, and I think it in most of countries like this, but I think in Czech Republic it's the most because a lot of Ukrainians moved here. So I think this one is the biggest stereotype about Ukrainians. So I want to add, some people before the war, they moved to another countries and they just wanted to earn money. So for them, it was no matter where to go to work, and most of people just tried to choose the easiest jobs that it's super easy to find, and they worked at fabrics, and I don't know. For example, they cleaned hotels and everything else. And because of them also, when people with degrees moved to Prague, saying Prague because I live here, they think that, okay, so Ukrainians are just like this. They don't deserve to work on another jobs. So that's why it also was really hard for me to find a job, but still, I even took another course in Prague that they can see my degree, that I took the course here and I have some Prague degree, because for them it's really matter. They don't check what you know, they just, I don't know, did you have some degree from their country. So I think it's kind of also the stereotype about Ukrainians.
What do you appreciate the most about living in different culture?
So from my childhood, I really had a dream to live abroad, but I wasn't sure will I or no. But now I really got a lot of enjoyment, and I love experiencing new ways of thinking, different traditions, and in general just simply their lifestyles. And also when I started to live abroad, it really built my confidence in myself, and I just never think, for example, my parents will help me with this. No, I just simply started to do everything by myself, earn money from a young age because I traveled a lot, and it was everything from my budget. And for me it's really fascinating to see how people approach life differently in their country, and I just love it. I like everything, the cities, the people, even if they're angry a little bit, it's still okay. And the Prague city, I love to be here because the architecture is completely different, but it's still similar what we have in our city Lviv. So that's why I feel a little bit like at home, and also in my city Uzhhorod, the architecture is kind of similar because of the history. And still you're in the city, but you still can go easily to park, and here parks you're in mountains and you're at the nature, and everything is so everything made for people. So I really love to be here and enjoy, and also it's really easy to commute. to any directions that you need. So I feel good here.
Do you feel like you have become more open-minded through your experiences abroad?
And I've always been an open-minded person, but when you live abroad, it's just the fact that there is no single right way to live, because you look at different cultures, that they have their own logic and values, and that's what makes the world interesting. And it also made me more understanding and accepting of different perspectives and people in general. That's why I really love it, because if the world would similar, it's really not interesting. So I think that's it.